Hey everyone, so welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the joy of learning and empowering others through education. Okay, so what do you know about the joy of learning and also empowering others? I feel like mm, most of you will be like, Aruni, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? How is how is studying even an enjoyment process? It's such a torture, you know? It's just so painful for me. Like, I can't even stand the word studying right now. But then, when you come to think of it, that when you enjoy studying or when you enjoy doing what you do, don't you think that success follows behind you? Okay, as I have mentioned previously, right, in a couple of my videos, I do mention here and there regarding loving what you do or loving your studies. Why do I emphasize the importance of enjoying your education process or your enjoying any sort of process basically? Like, if you want to enjoy building a business, you have to enjoy the process of that. If you want to build a life with somebody, you have to enjoy the process of being with somebody. If you want to have a good relationship, a good bond with somebody, with your family or friends, you need to have, you need to enjoy doing that in order to keep that relationship or friendship alive and strong, you know? So, like, it's very, very crucial, especially in today's day and age that we live. A lot of us tend to quit very fast. I I've realized this a lot. Like, everybody says like, Irony, I've got so much of problems. You know, having obstacles during your process of doing what you love makes you obviously want to fall out from even studying or doing anything that you love in the first place. But that should never ever stop you from feeling as if you could like that thing is gonna like that's the end of the world, you know. My parents recently, I thought, because right now I'm in my third year, second semester, and I've only got one more semester left before I graduate, right? So, like, because of so much of problems that's going around at home, and also things that I literally cannot juggle studies and um, family, and there's just so much, and basically so much of things, you know. Though it's just like two things that I'm mentioning on this video, but there's just a lot of things that is on my head and I have to deal with it. But that never actually, I mean, what crossed my mind was, okay, Irony, you know what? There's just so much of things to deal with. I feel like I wanted to quit my studies. And then when I went and consult my parents, they literally told me, Irony, your journey is this tad little bit more for you to go. Okay? Why do you want to quit? My parents was literally willing to let me enjoy my study process, and because they know I've got so much of potential in studying, why would a bright student like me ever give up on something that she loves? Like, if she loves studying, she should be doing what she loves. So I went to my lecturers and I told them also that I want to quit. I told so many people, right, in the university that I I'm actually in communication with. And I've told all of these people that I want to quit my studies. And everybody is like, Irony, why? Okay, you are just a little bit more in your journey. You can do this. And one of my lecturers also told me this, that no matter what life has to offer to us, even though yes, our parents might be getting sick, we have just a lot of things to deal with, being just a child who need to take care of their parents. There's just so much, right? It's not an easy thing for me. But she said, Aruni, yes, you are just overwhelmed at that time. You are just overwhelmed at that process. Life has to offer you so much more than just this. And I actually did not believe what she said. I mean, I believe, I thought at that moment like she was just trying to comfort my feelings. She was just gonna, she just doesn't want me to fall out from university because she knows that I'm a bright student. Not only she, basically everybody whom I have told that I want to quit my studies, right? And everybody is like, this girl is such a bright student, why she wants to quit? And my lecturer later told me that, Aruni, no matter whether our parents get sick or not, we have to move on in life. Even my mom told me this. Aruni, even if we get sick and then when we are gone one day, if you don't have anything in your hands, how are you going to work out there? What do you want to be? You want to go and work in a restaurant? You want to go and work in some kind of a dirty scrap place? Being a girl and being a person who have gone through so much, working out there in restaurants and stuff like that, I know how difficult it is working with people there. Okay, it's not easy for me at all, and I cannot deal with it because of the amount of discrimination that I've gone through, no matter whether it's gender or whether it's regarding my race, my color, my whatever it is. I do not care what people think. I only care, but the way it affects me, it takes like a whole part of me out, you know. So when my mom and my lecturer told me this, and also my dad told me, Aruni, I want you to have a degree. Like last year when my mother was going through a major back down in her in her health, right? I literally told like I want to quit my studies already at that time. And then my dad said, never ever quit your studies. I want you to graduate. I want you to get a degree in your hand at least. You know, at least if one day something is about to happen to us and we are gone from this world, at least you have something in your hand to go out, get a job, and survive on your own. Because, like I mentioned previously, people won't come to us if we don't have anything. People will only come to us if we have something in our hands, and if we are going around the world and we have something basically in finance to take us to the next level. That's when people will come into our lives. Until then, there's nobody. So if there's nobody, how are you going to even survive? Okay, we're talking about survival here, you know. My parents, when it come to pushing me to the next limit, they always talk about survival. Okay, I on the other hand do not really think about survival. I always think like, okay, you know, whatever happens happens. And basically in our generation, most of us thinks the same thing, you know. Whatever we want to do, whatever we feel like doing, we do it, whether it's right or wrong. But our parents, like I said before this, the support systems, they know what's best because they have gone through that same problem, they have gone through that same hardships that they don't want you to fall into. They want a better future for you. Like I said also, that building a better future is all up to us. Like our parents' generation, they have already done their responsibility. Now we are all getting older. We have to take up some accountability. We have to start being responsible for ourselves. We need to start deciding what's right and what's wrong, not to just think out of the blues. Okay, let's see what happens and stuff like that. We have to plan our life. We need to, if we don't plan our lives right, our life is just haywire. Obviously, you would say, okay, you know what? Anybody could die anytime. We don't need to. We don't need to plan anything. You know, if let's say you plan and something was to happen to you, and at that moment you're gone, you still know at that point, even in your deathbed, you'll be like, okay, I already planned it. Obviously, I'm not able to achieve it, but I've planned my life. You know, that's what's important. When you plan your life ahead, you know. But I'm not telling you to plan like for the next 20, 30 years, yeah. We don't know what's going to happen at that point. What I'm saying here is that we at least need to plan for the next 2 to 3 to 4 or 5 years ahead in our life. At least we know, okay, that's our long-term goals. What are our short-term goals? We need to work with these goals kind of thing, and we have to adjust it as time goes by. Not say like, okay, I'm gonna set my long-term goal, which is to become a successful entrepreneur at that time, and then what are you gonna do? And then but then you do have to realize that along the way you need to climb the ladder in order to achieve. You know, my father also have taught me this. We have to go one step at a time in the ladder, right? Or the stairs. You need to walk from one stairs to another. You can't just walk like you are leaping from one stair to another stair, like and leave this middle path empty. You need to you need to cross that hurdle in order to go to the next one. So in order to even go through that, you need to understand the basics of life, importance of what you're supposed to focus on. You know, like when it comes to education, it's always important to take one step at a time. Focus on what you're doing right now. Focus on what the present is trying to offer you. Yes, it's important to also have your long-term goals, which is what you want to achieve in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years of your degree, or your in your masters, or whatsoever you want to do. It's okay to have your long-term goals. At the same time, focus, because with these short-term goals that you're having right now, every semester focusing from one semester to another, achieving from one, doing one assignment to another assignment, focusing, getting good grades for each of it will determine your long-term goals as well. So for example, this semester I get A's for all my subjects. Next semester I get A's. What is that trying to show you? There's a pattern that is showing. You are showing that you are a bright student. You are moving forward in the right path, achieving the right goals, and eventually, if you want to go and do your masters, you want to become an entrepreneur in the future, or you want to even go and work for somebody in the future, you know that your path is opened up to various options. You know, it's just not about limiting you to one place at a time. So if let's say once you graduate, then you want to go and apply for a job, your options are limitless at that point. You can go for any job out there, and even, obviously, I'm not saying that all job employers are going to give you your job because of how smart you are. But like I said, the smartness is over here, not just reading the book every day and not understanding what the book is trying to teach you. You must be also always open to whatever the people outside that is trying to teach you. With today's generation, we do not realize that. We always go about and say, oh, you know what, I studied this, I'm going to go there and act as if I have known everything, and I'm going to try to change that people's the environment, that I'm going to change everything that those people have been working over the years and trying to achieve their own goals for the company. That's where every student is wrong. Every child, these generation students are always wrong in that manner. We need to understand that every company has their own set of goals. So they have been working very hard to achieve the goals that they want. So when you go in there, you help that company out to achieve those long-term goals. Whatever that you have studied in your textbooks, you go outside there and you help. Whatever you apply it. This is the thing. You need to learn how to not just read the books and say, you know what, okay, a plus a equals to a. No. Like literally it needs to be a plus a equals to b. 1 plus 1 equals to 2, not 1 plus 1 equals to 1 square. It does not work like that. So you need to be a additional help, additional guide to it for the company. So that's where you show your smartness. If you're smart in doing something, if you know how to use a computer, you know how to use a machine, you know how to use anything, you know how to do anything. Having an extra skill would not back you off. It would show that how well you can do in your life. So for instance, okay, now I can do baking. So how does baking even help the company I'm going to work with in the future? Obviously, it wouldn't help me in any way, or it wouldn't even benefit the company in any way. But then you need to realize that when I go and work in the future companies later on, once I graduate, my baking skills is sort of like this, okay? I'm going to the company, I know how to handle finance, I know the mentality of people that I'm working with. So when I'm having my business, I have like 2-3 people helping me around. Like for instance, my mom and my dad is helping me with it. So I know the mentality of my parents when they're working, their mind, how they're going about. I know how to be organized. I know how to handle I know how to multitask. I know how to handle whatever at that point. Like whatever challenges is thrown to me at that point when I'm doing my baking, I know how to handle the situation. So when I go out there and when I work for the company, those are my strengths. It's not my weaknesses, because I know I can multitask. I am friendly with people. I handle well with customers. I am always good with what I can do. So that's how I'm talking about how it benefits the company in the future. So you need to understand the world does not revolve around you every day and every time and every second. You need to build that world. You need to build that goals. You need to build where you want to build. So like I've mentioned earlier, that when you enjoy your studies, right, enjoying what you do, you're passionate about, like I spoke about in pursuing passion in the other video previously, you would know how much I emphasize, how much I talk about about enjoying what you do. And when we talk about empowering others, right, you motivate others. If you are motivated, don't just sit there and be like, oh, you know what, fine, I'm just gonna deal with this person and I'm just gonna do what I want to do. No, if there is a future generation people who is also in the learning process, they don't know how to do something, you motivate them. You make them to feel, you make them to push them to become better individuals as well, because you know what you are, you know what you're worth of, you know what you're proud of. You can make them to be the same. I have this mentality, right? When you pay forward, when you help the next generation, when you help the people around you, when you help your friend circle, you help your family, you help anybody, you're basically making them to have this almost a similar mindset as you. And having the similar mindset people around you is going to make you a stronger leader, a stronger kind of person. When you don't you we always think about, we have to be the weak person. Being a girl or a guy, it does not determine how weak you are or how strong you are by physical strength. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how smart you are. You can be a girl, and if you are smart, you know what you're good at, you can help the opposite gender. Same goes to the guy. If you are smart, you know how to tackle the women, you can tackle. So what I'm trying to say here is this: even though how much we talk about enjoying the studies process, yes, when you enjoy study process is when you show how much you love doing something, right? You show how important that thing is for you. But you also need to understand that when you are doing that, you're also putting yourself back and saying to yourself, I love doing this. I love studying. I love empowering others. I want other people to also be like me. When I go to university, right, and when my friends, my classmates are like no motivation, they are always sick, they are always tired of their life, I always motivate them. And I tell them from the very beginning of the semester, if you want to be strong, you want to be like me, this is what you gotta do. Like literally last semester, I wouldn't forget. There was this one classmate that I was working on a pair assignment with. This student she was having so much of mental health issues, and on top of that, she had like her own physical issues that health issues that she was going through at that point. And at that time, it was a deadline of our submission. Like that day, we had to submit an assignment. I literally panicked, okay? Being a normal being a human being in general, right? I panicked at that point. I felt like if she didn't help me in that assignment, I don't know what would I even do, So at that time, I freaked out, knowing what she was going through. What am I supposed to do at that time? I came home, I told my parents. My parents were like, Aruni, it's okay, whatever it is, we will stay up with you at night and we'll motivate you to do your assignment. And for some reason, that's why I said faith is very important. When you need to have faith in your religion. So when I had so much of faith in my religion, but at the same time I panicked so bad. I freaked out to the maximum level until I was like, I cannot do this assignment anymore without her. I called her. Eventually she picked up my phone. She picked up my call. And then I told her, you know what, can you please help me? Can you please fix your what do you call this? Please fix your amendments. You have so much of amendments to do. You have to fix it on the spot right now. We have to submit before midnight today. Can you please help me? And then we both sat down and we both did our parts. And I did with her on the call, and I kept on motivating her, and I kept on telling her at that point, no, don't worry. Whatever it is about your mental and physical health, obviously you have to take care, but at this point, I really, really need you right now. It's so crucial at this moment. Let's do this together. I stayed with her on the call throughout the entire process. We completed the assignment and we submitted before midnight. Okay? I am so proud. Like literally, when the results of the assignment, the results of the finals came out, to my goddamn surprise, okay, I literally achieved the grade that I wanted. It's all, obviously, if I did not motivate her at that point and she got some deadbeat loser to work with her at that time, I'm telling you one thing, she wouldn't get an A also. So, I'm not trying to say like I'm taking 100% credits for this, but it's all also up to her willingness on how much of effort she wants to put through, how much, if she wants to get an A with me, she needs to work hard. Whoever who is signing up to work in a pair or a group assignment with me, they always have to be ready to go through whatever shit it is with me, because it's not easy to work with me. When I motivate you, I will motivate the crap out of you at that point when I am so desperate, especially. Okay, if I want my grade, I'll get it by hook or by crook. That's kind of a person I am. So when I do that, when I want that, when I'm trying to get that determination in hand, what do I have to do? I have to be first motivating. I first have to motivate myself in order to motivate her. If I can't motivate myself, how am I going to motivate her? I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? This submission is due at midnight, right? Okay, fine. We have a bunch of amendments to do. I am going to go home, have my lunch, take my time, and then shower, and then chill for a bit. And then you know what? Later in the evening, I'm going to start my fixing the amendments, and I'm going to let her to rest during the day first, right? Do you really think I'm going to get an A in the paper? And I'm going to get her to get an A in the paper as well? Obviously not. I mean, it doesn't just fall off from out of nowhere. I'll get an A for that paper. But just because I could motivate her. Now, if my mom, my dad did not say, Aruni, don't panic, and if they're gonna be like, you know what, okay, we're not gonna stay out with you. We're gonna go and sleep. You guys just deal with your own issues, and also it's not our problem. You know what's gonna happen to me at that point? I'm gonna flip like nobody's business. I'm gonna scream in the house like it was just gone, like I'm dead, okay? But just because at that point they were so encouraging, they were so motivating, I realized to myself like, no, I'm not gonna let my parents stay up just because of me. So I'm gonna get this thing done by hook or by crook by night, and make sure that this girl also do her part, and we both submit it together. And we did it, you know? So that's why I say when you enjoy the study process, you'll be able to empower other people as well. If you do not enjoy the study process, you cannot motivate other people to become better, and you can't expect them also to become better, because you yourself is a deadbeat loser. You are bad. You are not somebody who's encouraging another person. You can't even encourage your own self. You can't even get your lazy bum out of the chair or the bed, and you want to go around and motivate others. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help anybody in any way, because the person is going to be like, they'll definitely compare you, and you'll be like, this person is asking me to get out of the chair or the bed when she herself is a useless sore loser herself. Like, what is she even expecting out of me? I'm going through so much of pain right now, and she wants me, and she's lazing on the bed, and she wants me to get out of the bed. Like, is she out of her mind? People are gonna definitely think that I'm crazy, and they're gonna put me in the mental asylum the next day if I am like that, you know. But unfortunately, I'm not like that, because I'm not wired that way. Though I was wired like that 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but I'm not like that anymore. I'm a whole new person. I've changed myself a lot. That's why I can motivate others around me to become better. And this is the thing, right? When we talk about respect, we talk about honesty, loyalty, we talk about all these things, who are we being loyal to? Who are we being honest to? Who are we being understanding to? Who are we even doing, creating all these small attributes for? For ourselves first. We want to prioritize ourselves first, always. If we do not prioritize ourselves, we are going to fall off the hook very easily. You know, now you see, before a fish go and catch the bait, just because the fish is so foolish, the fish does not think, oh my god, that's a bait and I am going to get hooked if I go and get that bait, right? Obviously you fall for the bait, you know. So in order for you not to fall into the bait, what you have to do, work on yourself, enjoy your studying process, enjoy your working process, and then empower the people around you. Always, I'm telling you, you will see beautiful changes happening in your life. You know, your parents, the people around you, everybody is going to come about and respect you as a person. They are going to be like, no matter you're a girl or a guy, right? It doesn't matter. You are going to earn that respect of other people when you work on yourself. When you show them what kind of a person you are, how you are as a person, you are going to be like, your life is definitely going to change. It's going to be very different. The feeling that I'm getting today, you can literally feel it if you also worked hard. That's all I can say, you know. It's a very beautiful feeling. The feeling of acceptance from your loved ones and the people who want to see you achieve your goal. It's a very, very beautiful feeling, and I am really enjoying it. I'm really loving it because I love those people. I also love those people. That's why I'm receiving all of this love back to me, you know. So this is all for today's video. This is Ari signing off. Peace.